concerning the bell.
Please state your point.
I'm pleased to report that my wife, Luetta, has a guide dog from Guide Dogs of America. He is very highly trained. He also has a special talent to find brass bells and scumbags who steal brass bells. He is currently scouring the halls for our beloved District 19 bell. If you see him working or guiding, please don't pet him because he has important work to guide or to find the bell. Finding the bell. So that we have a very good lead that it was Donald Trump and his henchmen that took the bell because he heard Hillary Clinton was going to be here. Brothers and sisters, please always support MNPL and Guide Dogs of America so we can protect our beloved District 19 bell from people like Trump and his henchmen. Thank you.
Chairman recognizes Delegate at Mic 2.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Frank Simetz, Local Lodge 2600, District 19 Out Transportation. I'm the local chairman here for Local Lodge 2600. I'm really proud to have you guys here in our hometown. I welcome everybody. I'm kind of concerned about how some of our Huskier members were excluded out of getting t-shirts. I find that deeply concerning because this is a great organization about unity. You were nice enough to give a member your gray and blue t-shirt for tomorrow's picture, and I would like to present you with one of our own Local Lodge t-shirts. It was designed by one of our local members, put together by a committee, union printed, and they will be for sale here at the committee, or during the convention. So I'd like to present this one for you as a gift, only if you give me a hug.
Thank you, brother. Wow, we're loading up. Chair calls on General Secretary Treasurer to respond to the Husky sizes.
For the Huskier brothers and sisters, the shirts will be available at 5 o'clock this afternoon. We're getting them delivered, so if you have your coupon, you can go over to the K&R desk and pick up your delegate shirt, and they're also going to be available in the morning, so you will have the ability to wear your shirts.
Chair recognizes Delegate at Mic 5.
Gil Simmons from Air Transportation, Local 1776, the O.B. O'Brien Liberty Bell Lodge. Point of interest, please.
Please proceed, brother.
My local bears the name O.B. O'Brien, who's my mentor, friend, and brother. He's a 56-year member. His first convention was 1968, right in here in this building. He's been to every one ever since, except for one, and just like to acknowledge him.
Absolutely. O.B. O'Brien. Chair recognizes Delegate Mike 6.
Thank you. My name is Ron Fryer, local lodge president of 330 District 65, and I'd like to personally thank you guys. We were on strike last summer, 240 of our members, and I would personally like to thank you for all your support and the monetary money you sent our lodge.
Thank you, brother. On behalf of all the convention delegates and the executive council, thank you. Chair recognizes Delegate Mike 1.
Hi, my name's Kevin Garrison. I'm from Local 289, District 160, Seattle, Washington. I want to apologize about starting the hug trend. Sorry. I'm really sorry, sir.
It's all good, brother. Thank you. Chair recognizes Delegate Mike 2.
Brother Chair, Executive Council, Vito Marchese, second-generation machinist. I'm only in my first quarter century. I was lucky to have my father, was in his 60th year this year, but he passed away. But I'm still a proud IAM member. IAM has been good to my family and good to me personally. I'm from the Midwest Territory, District Lodge 8, Local 126. There is another birthday in October, Mr. President, and I'd like you to remember that. On October 20th, Local 126 will be 126 years old. We were chartered in 1890. We still have our original charter. We have lodge notes from 1896, handwritten in ledgers. We are holding on to all that information, and we are proud to be part of EIAM since the beginning. Local 126 is the Chicago local. If you flew in through O'Hare, we have members at O'Hare. We have members at Midway. If you took a taxi, our members regulate and inspect the taxis. If you went over one of our bridges here in Chicago, our Local 126 members maintain and repair the bridges. If you notice how clean our city is, our members maintain all the streets and sanitation vehicles, police vehicles, fire vehicles, anything that has wheels, even the mayor's vehicle, we maintain. But most importantly, our members work at the water purification plants, the largest plants in the world, distribution, purification, and metering. Well, I found out what happened. Some of our members put a love potion in the water, so if you drank any Chicago water, that's where all the hugging is coming from. Enjoy your stay in Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Brothers and sisters, our next guest needs no introduction in a house of labor. A third-generation coal miner who worked in the mines as he attended Penn State University and later Villanova University Law School. He served as the AFL-CIO Secretary-Treasurer from 1995 to 2009, when he was then elected president of the largest organization of labor unions in the country. He's been the loud voice of the labor movement's efforts to raise wages, create a new economy that works for all Americans, not just the wealthy few. He has never one to back down from a good fight. He's been extremely vocal during his election cycle, standing up for working people and calling out the policies that hurt them. He's a dear friend who I have had the privilege to know and work alongside for many years. Brothers and sisters, please give a great machinist welcome to our brother and AFL-CIO President, Rich Trumka.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
It is we who plow the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. Now we stand outcast and starving mid the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn. But without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Bob, I want to thank you for that overly kind introduction. I hope everyone had a great Labor Day. I got to tell you, I'm proud to be here with machinists and aerospace workers, one of America's largest, strongest, and most powerful unions. Thank you for inviting me to your convention. It's an honor to be with you, brothers and sisters. And Bob, I want to thank you for your leadership and for your friendship. I also want to say hi to two good friends, former President George Corpius and Tom Buffenbarger. I know you're in the crowd, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you've done for working people over the years. God bless you. Man, I wish all of you could be up here right now because I can feel the energy in this room. You're strong, you're united, you're ready to organize, your professionalism is unparalleled, and your activism will help create a new middle class in America. And you know, Bob, you and your members literally made the space age possible. We all know the incredible record of union workers in the airline industry. We see you working hard to bring the union advantage to communities near and far, whether at IKEA in Southern Virginia or Airbus in Alabama. You see, when you win these campaigns, and you will win these campaigns, the supply chains follow, and the good news about unionism spreads by word of mouth. Your contracts set the standards for wages, workplace safety, pensions, and health care, and in return, you provide the most skilled workmanship that is second to none. You see, unionism is a virtuous cycle. Our entire community improves. Consumers spend more money, employers feel competitive pressure to raise wages and standards, and more workers want to experience the power and the strength and the security of a union contract. You see, that's the strength of collective bargaining and collective action. By standing together, we set off a race to the top, not a race to the bottom. And we're also raising the bar in politics. You see, when we get off the sidelines and onto the front lines, we build momentum for our issues. And then we elect candidates who share our working family values. This year, this very year, working people are leading the national conversation. We put the focus on good jobs with strong and growing wages. We've made it clear that workers should share in the wealth that we help create. We've shifted the conversation on trade. Instead of continuing to get run over by bad corporate trade deals, we're leading the fight to rewrite new global rules that lift our families up and lift our communities up, not step on them. And see, we've been able to make headway because our agenda is driving our politics and not the other way around. This year, our activism has influenced and inspired America's leaders more than any time in the past 50 years. That's why I believe that this year we need to throw everything that we have into politics from now until Election Day. Working people are winning the debate, brothers and sisters. Now it's time for us to win the election, not just on November 8th, but everything that occurs after November 8th. That's what it's about, changing the economic rules. So when you go back home after this convention's over, I need you to reach even higher. We need you to release staff. We need your mobilization and your groundwork. The leaders that we elect from the State House to the White House will have a tremendous input on pocketbook issues for our members. You, each and every one of you, can absolutely make a difference, brothers and sisters. Working people need it. The labor movement needs it. Your friends, your family, your neighbors, and your community needs it. See, we know unity. We practice solidarity. We built the American middle class once, and we'll do it again. Because we shape the steel. We shape the steel and we drive the rivets, we carry the loads, we build the ships from skyscrapers to airplanes. We make it all. We do whatever it takes. We don't mind hard work. We do it with pride, but we will not be faced down. We will not be pushed around, and we will not be denied an economy that works for every last worker out there. That's our right. That's our mission. That's our goal. You know, one of the things that I admire most about the machinists and aerospace workers is really the diversity of your membership. It's part of your strength. You don't do what's easy. You do what's right. And I know you're constantly focused on growth, whether it's with creative long-term organizing in the South or even strengthening your organizing department. That's what powerful unions do. We can never be complacent. We can never get caught in a trap. And as a labor movement, we're constantly evolving. We're increasing our connections to each other and to our communities. We set our sights on new industries. We're using the latest tools to communicate effectively while doubling down on the things that work. See, the structures of our local area and state labor federations are here to support you. My job exists to help you do yours. And the same is true all the way down to our local CLCs. Now, I know you've been working hard, and that dedication, brothers and sisters, is starting to pay off. See, we've been fighting for decades to put the rules of the economy up for debate so that they can be changed. And we've done it. Those rules are now front and center, and you did that. You did that by demanding a debate about those rules. For years, they've tried to make us believe that the economy's like the weather. Nothing you can do about it. That's the economy. Just have to endure it. Well, look, nothing could be further from the truth. The economy's nothing but a set of rules. Those rules are made by the men and women that we elect. Those rules decide winners and losers. And those rules have been stacked against us for decades. Now, it's time for us to change them. Because if those rules don't work, we can, we should, and we shall fix them. You see, workers are making a great case for new economic rules. And because we spoke up, Democrats nominated a presidential candidate that shares our vision. shares our values. See, Hillary Clinton opposes the job-killing Trans-Pacific Partnership. She's committed to raising wages for working families and understands that when workers are strong, when our unions are strong, then and only then can America be strong. Now, I'm going to have more to say about Hillary in a little bit, but I just can't let another moment pass without addressing the orange-haired disgrace called Donald Trump. Now, we could talk all day about Trump's poor judgment and character, his lack of respect for our military, his racism, his sexism, his xenophobia, and his outright dishonesty. You remember Fact Checker, that group that checks all the facts of all politicians? Fact Checker just said that Donald Trump tells a whopper every 5 minutes. Now, if this guy was Pinocchio and he was in the middle of Alaska, he wouldn't be able to turn around without perforating the borders on all the sides. His nose would be so good. When Donald Trump insults a war hero or expresses disdain for women or behaves like a schoolyard bully, those aren't mistakes, brothers and sisters. That's who Trump is. A poor, spoiled, little rich kid. See, as a nation, we've always tried to hold true to the promises of the U.S. Constitution. That all of us, every single one of us, is created equal. Now, it hasn't been easy, and progress has often been painfully slow. But we've always moved forward. For America to reverse course and allow a leader to bring bigotry into the mainstream would be catastrophic, because hate is a cancer. It's wrong. It's un-American. And we have to reject every single effort to try to legitimize it. You see, Donald Trump is unfit to be president in every possible way. And his record on work and workers' rights is terrible. Trump spent his career and built his fortune shipping our jobs overseas, failing to pay us for the work that we do, devastating our communities, and treating us like second-class citizens. He's no friend of unions or working people. He's always tried to cheat us and destroy us. Just ask our brothers and sisters right now in Las Vegas, who he spent millions of dollars to try to prevent them from unionizing. And they still voted 3-1 to unionize. And now he refuses to negotiate a contract with them. And I think this is the greatest sign that he doesn't have a clue about working people. Trump thinks our wages are too high. Let me repeat that. He thinks you make too much money. Now, I got to do a survey because I told the Trump campaign I'd report back to them. How many people in here think your wages are too high? Raise your hand. Whoa, one guy up front thought about it for a second. Since he put it down, I'm going to report it as unanimous that nobody thinks their wages are too high. How many think Donald Trump's wages are too high? Raise your hand. Cool. I'll take that back to them and let them know you think he's flat ass wrong about our wages. How's that? And then he's stolen our pay time and time again. But you know something, Bob? There is some justice in this world. Because Trump has a business model trying to squeeze little business people, squeeze them for everything they're worth. And then after he gets a price that's so low, they do the work, and then he doesn't pay them. And they have to sue him. And they go out of business sometime because he squeezes them so hard, and then they settle for 25 or 30 cents on the dollar. But there is some justice in the world because Trump hired this gigantic law firm to defend him against all of those claims. And they squeezed little businessmen and workers hard. But then in the end, when the game was over, he refused to pay that labor firm, that law firm as well. I thought that was only fair, don't you? Look, this guy says outsourcing creates jobs. He supports right to work 100%. He thinks Carl Icahn, a man who has destroyed more businesses and more jobs and more benefits than anybody in America, would be a great Treasury Secretary. No wonder Moody's, the independent business credit rating agency, says that Trump's economic plans would cost America 3.5 million jobs. We would lose 3.5 million jobs if he's elected president. Look, sisters and brothers, the last thing we need is a morally bankrupt corporate hack running our economy. That's why on November 8th, 2016, working people are going to turn the tables on old Donnie and say to him loud and clear, Donnie, you're fired. Go back to the rock that you came out from under. Thankfully, on the Democratic side, there's a much different story. You see, the primary contest between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton moved America in a good direction. The Democratic platform yielded the most progressive and unifying message in a generation. And Hillary Clinton is rising to meet the challenges of tomorrow with a strong agenda of shared prosperity. Hillary's tough, she's smart, she's prepared, and she listens. You know, when she accepted the Democratic nomination at the convention, when she talked about love of country and the selfless passion to build something better for all who follow, it was clear that she heard our call. And I got to tell you, I was moved by that. Hillary is ready to rewrite the rules of the economy by reforming or killing corporate trade deals and saying no, saying hell no to TPP. She has an aggressive plan to rein in Wall Street, and she'll make the largest investment in infrastructure, public education, workforce development, and manufacturing since World War II. And Moody's said it'll create 10 million American jobs for us. That's what we need, plus 10, not 3.5 minus. And most importantly, brothers and sisters, Hillary knows that the single greatest tool for economic mobility and a growing middle class is collective bargaining. She'll protect and expand the freedom of every worker in America to join and form a union, whether they live in Washington or South Carolina. We're going to bring unionism to them because they deserve it, right? Now let me tell you some more good news. Brothers and sisters, America is waking up to unionism. This is our chance. This is our moment to bring out the best in America, to bring out the best in ourselves and each other. Because we won't back down and we won't back up. We'll stand tall, we'll register, we'll mobilize, we'll vote, and we'll win a new economy that works for every last worker out there, called shared prosperity. That's what's going to happen because of our solidarity. Bob, I'd like to tell you something very personal, if I might. In August, I welcomed my first grandchild into the world. My son, Rich. I haven't stopped smiling since, I can tell you. My son, Richard, and his wife, Jessica, had a beautiful baby boy. And becoming a grandfather is a reminder that this movement isn't just about us. You see, it's about building a stronger America for generations to come, so that my grandchild and your grandchild and their grandchildren have a better way of life and a better standard of living. You know, it seems like just yesterday that I was in my backyard with Richard, and he was about 3 or 4 years old, and his grandfather, much to my dismay, had gotten him one of those battery-operated Jeeps. So he and his buddy Chad were driving around in the backyard, knocking everything over, creating havoc everywhere. And I was out there too, and I was talking on the phone about what else, the union. And Richard must have overheard me, because he drives up, him and his buddy in that Jeep, and he said, "Dad, what's a union?" And I look at him. We have this hill in the backyard. I told him he and Chad to get out of the Jeep, and I told Richard to push that Jeep up that hill by himself. And the little guy groaned and slipped and slid. Finally just quit, he couldn't do it. And I said, "Now, Chad, you help him push that Jeep up." Together they slipped a little bit and they struggled, but they got the Jeep to the top of the hill. I looked at him and I said, "Son, that's a union. People doing together what they can't do alone. That's a union." Today, working people are climbing up our own hill. Wages are still too low. Benefits are still too few. Retirement security isn't secure enough. And the economic rules remain skewed toward the wealthy few. People are understandably cynical. They work hard, they do the right thing, but they can't seem to get ahead. And a lot of our members, a lot of our friends and allies are turned off by politics right now. Reaching them won't be easy, but we can never accept the idea that just because someone is angry or cynical, that they can't be reached. We need to tell people again and again and again and again that progress is possible if we're powerful, if we stick together, if we refuse to be divided. See, we've suffered through the layoffs and the takebacks. We've seen our hopes and our dreams put on hold. But it gets better. I've seen it, trust me. We're right now in our best position to win that we've been in decades. A better life is right in front of us. All we have to do is to reach out and to grab it. This fall, we have more than just an election on the line. It's about where our country's going. It's about what kind of nation we're going to be. An America that says, you are mine and I am yours, or one that governs by dividing people and fanning their fears. One that says that the pie can get bigger for all of us, or a nation that says, I have to lose for you to win. See, as we stand together and define American values, we'll defeat the misguided, the petty, the unnecessary politics of division and disunity. And we'll send a message to every politician who made the rise of Donald Trump possible: change course or face extinction. Face extinction if you don't change. You see, the American labor movement is unleashing the most comprehensive, sophisticated electoral program in our history. And we need your help. Talk to your members. Send out your release staff. Ask members to volunteer. Ask them to turn out at the polls. We need to see union members vote at unprecedented levels. And if you haven't done it already, talk to your Central Labor Council. Name a coordinator for each one of your work sites so that our team can communicate with them. When your membership gets involved in the ground campaign, nothing can stop us, brothers and sisters. When working people speak the truth about Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, we move the needle. We know what it takes. Keep leading the way. Keep blazing a trail forward. So it's time. It's time for us to stand up strong, brothers and sisters. It's time to mobilize and organize. This electoral season is all about raising wages. We'll hit the work sites. We'll talk to members. We'll walk the streets. We'll knock the doors. That's what a unified labor movement does. That's what it looks like when working people stand together, union strong. And after the ballots are counted and the elections have been won, we'll be in a better position to organize in the workplace and win strong contracts and better pay. You see, we'll fix what is broken in America. Together we can create a better tomorrow. We're going to have to work for it. It won't be easy. All of us, each of us, with solidarity, where your picket line is my picket line and my picket line is your picket line. I see a worker struggling for a better way of life. I don't ask why. I lock arms. I stand with that brother and sister. I fight for a better today and a better tomorrow and a better America. God bless you. Keep up the fight.
Rich, please accept these small tokens of our appreciation on behalf of the delegation of our convention.
My honor,
Delegate
brother.
bag and a gift from the council.
Wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Let's hear it for Rich Trumka. Brothers and sisters, we are proud to have as our next guest the International President of the United Auto Workers, our great sister union. Dennis Williams is a Marine Corps veteran who started his career in the UAW in 1977 as a salvage welder. In 2010, he was elected as Secretary-Treasurer of his union. In 2014, he was elected as the President of the United Auto Workers. Brother Williams knows and understands the value of organizing. His union, like ours, is facing struggles of organizing in the South. We all know what they've been through in Tennessee trying to organize Volkswagen. It's the same garbage we've been fighting at Boeing in South Carolina. President Williams also knows that we are all together in this. Through his leadership, we are strengthening our relationship with the UAW, and we will continue to coordinate our efforts to improve the lives of our members into the future. Brothers and sisters, please welcome a great leader of the labor movement and a great friend of the IAM, President of the United Auto Workers Union, Dennis Williams.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
It is we who plow the prairies, built the cities where they trade, dug the mines and built the workshops, endless miles of railroad laid. Now we stand outcast and starving amid the wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong.
They have taken untold millions that they never toiled to earn, but without our brain and muscle, not a single wheel can turn. We can break their haughty power, gain our freedom when we learn that the union makes us strong.
Well, it's great to be in Chicago, Illinois. I lived here for 22 years, just sold my house. My wife decided to come join me in Detroit, Michigan. But anyway, you know, it is so good to be here. Bob, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for being the kind of brother that you are. I mean, you and I have been working together so closely, and I want to just say in front of everybody, thank you. This guy, and I, they better keep us apart, you know, because, you know, Bob, I found out that you were in the United States Navy, right? And I, being in the Marine Corps, I did a lot of time on ship and went all through Asia. So when we get back in Washington, D.C., we'll share stories, but I don't think we ought to do it in front of the delegates. But to all my brothers and sisters in the IAM, I send greetings from all the UAW members in the United Auto Workers. We are stronger together, and we are united like never before. You know, we are reminded every day in this campaign about what's going on in this country. And it is pretty obvious as I go around the country, people are frustrated and angry. But I often try to remind them why they're frustrated and angry. And I think about what the IAM is doing, trying to organize Boeing and other facilities in the South. And look at us as our frustration is, as we have organized Volkswagen skilled tradespeople, been to court 4 times, won 4 times, and yet they keep appealing. People have the right to be frustrated in the United States of America because there is no balance anymore. There's no fairness in our society. and there's a gap in our equality. We are frustrated. The American people are frustrated. But we have to go ahead and be reminded that the frustration should not be at those that are working for one another, but those who are working against us. And people get all tied up in these knots about what's going on and who said what and who did what. Just look at people's track records. Follow the money, and you'll find out who's on our side. And I think about what happened to us in Volkswagen when we organized, Bob, the first time, and he'll remember this, that we were on our way to a victory, and there was a Republican senator named Corker that got involved. Now you think about this. A United States senator involved in an organizing drive, threatening workers that if they vote union, they may not get their product. And this is not unique about Volkswagen. This is happening everywhere. Boeing's doing it. But what is criminal about it, that if they did this in the polling place, going to vote for a United States senator, they would be locked up if they threatened or coerced. So democracy can't be one way in public and another way in private. Democracy should be there always. So when you look at the imbalance in this country and what's happening, I started working at CASE in 1977. There was 1,000,001 UAW members in this country, from agricultural, the aerospace, which we share in auto. The IEM was huge. The steelworkers were huge. The Teamsters were huge. And the American public was better off for it, because organized labor was that balance that actually gave people the equality in the workplace, what meant equality in our community, that meant equality in our state, that meant equality throughout our country. That's what unionism did for this country. When you have that collective bargaining strength that empowers you to go to a corporation and say, we just want our fair share. When you look at what's happened since then, since 1977, and look out today, we are now in court more and more often to try to protect retirees' health care benefits. We are struggling to hang on to people's pension benefits. And this is not by accident. This isn't a fluke. This is a matter of corporations and people in public office working in coercion to go ahead and diminish our benefits and our power. If you don't have balance in a society, you don't have a country that can be free. It's always going to be in turmoil. When you have the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, and the largest group in our society growing is those people in poverty, you're going to have turmoil. I, for one, would fight for my family's right to survive, wouldn't you? And that's what's going on in the streets of the United States right now today. When people get frantic, and I tell our membership about the term Black Lives Matter, they go, oh, Dennis, I don't know. And I go, listen to what they're saying. They're saying, I want opportunity and equality in homes. I want equality in education. I want fairness in the workplace. I want equality in my wages. I want a fair opportunity for all American people. That's what the United States of America is all about. When we sit down and we talk about the challenges ahead of us. And we look at so many times that people talk to me and talk to Bob and talk to others about what we used to have. I'm so tired of talking about what we used to have. I want to unify as a labor movement, unify as a country, and quit talking about what we used to have and talk about what we're going to have. You know, there is about 11 million people in the United States of America. There's about 219 million, at least according to my research department, that is eligible to vote. About 142 million, or 64%, are registered to vote. And it's amazing that a country like the United States of America takes voting or what they have for granted. How many veterans in this audience? When you are a veteran and you have experienced what has happened in other countries, you don't take your democracy for granted. You go ahead and understand that democracy isn't easy, and if you're going to hold on to it, you must fight for it. And you understand that the best way to have a society, a free society, is to have balance. And you guard your democracy not only through a military-style government, but a government that has balance like trade unions. That is so important to a free society. And we don't have to look far to recognize that, because in North America, when you look at Canada, they are a reciprocal trade partner. But if you look at Mexico, they are not, because they do not have a free and fair society. Their government, at moments in time, and I'm being careful here, are being corrupted by corporations, where they have government unions rather than free trade unions. And when you have free trade unions, you build up people's right for a fair wage. And they become consumers, and they become trade partners, and our lives become reciprocal in nature, so we're one continent and one group of people that can work together. Don't ever blame the American or the Mexican worker. Blame the United States government and the Mexican government not enforcing the labor laws and the humanity of it all. You know, I know that Rich talked a great deal about elections. And I want to just hit on UAW, because we're no different in our membership. We think a lot alike, we look a lot alike, and we represent people in a lot of like industries. And it's tough out there, because if you're activist and you're being silent while people are talking about Donald Trump, then there's something wrong. When I was in my office one day and I was looking at the Detroit news, and they reported that Donald Trump had came to Detroit and said that, look, you don't have to ship jobs to Mexico. All you have to do is shut down UAW plants here and then move them somewhere cheaper. And then when the people up here start going broke, they'll want to work for less, and you can bring the jobs back. What did Obama say? Don't boo, vote. But I mention that because when I was a small kid, I remember a voice on the TV that caught my attention. I imagine a lot of your attention in this audience. And the term that caught my ear was, you will judge somebody on the content of their character. Martin Luther King. So I do that, and I think about it a lot. So I examine the content of the characters as they run for office, and I think about what I seen in the Republican primary. 14 people lined up, never talking about what's going on in America. I watched them one by one fall because either they had too small hands or the guy didn't have enough emotion or no energy, but never heard anything about substance. And I watched the Democratic side, how I listened about the argument about TPP and Wall Street and regulation and how we move America ahead. And I thought that was pretty telling. Because when you see somebody belittle somebody without taking on the issue, that is the content of an individual's character. When I heard Donald Trump talk about a judge who is, by the way, very well respected throughout the United States, say that he should not be a judge over his case because he was of Mexican descent, even though he was born in Indiana. That's about the content of an individual's character. When you see Donald Trump made fun of a person that had a handicap, that's the content of an individual's character. When you've seen that Donald Trump went ahead and said all Muslims are terrorists, that's the content of this guy's character. And when he said all Mexican people are rapists and all he wants to do is build a wall, that is the content of an individual's character. So when we looked at it and we thought about it, this is an election that is going to determine who we are as a nation, who we are as a people, how we act as a society. Now, when you put all that together about his comments about all these people, and on top of that, he said that UAW folks in Michigan made too much money if you close their plants down. He wasn't talking about Michigan folks only, he was talking about Ohio people. He was talking about IBEW members. He was talking about IAM members. He was talking about Teamsters. He was talking about steelworkers. He was talking about all of us. And if we can't stand united and take combat that kind of rhetoric, that kind of philosophy, and that kind of tone, then who are we as a trade union? And when I look at everything this guy has said, it scares me. It scares me for my kids, and it scares me for my grandkids. Walter Reuther believed it was labor's movement's responsibility not only to look out for our members, but also to use our influence at the bargaining table with big business and politically with government, to make America a more livable society for all, not just for all workers on the factory floor, but for everybody in our community. That philosophy has stayed with the United Auto Workers all these years. Our relationship with the IAM has never been stronger. We are building a foundation that I believe once again will move this country in a different direction. But we cannot allow individuals to steal our members when we know they're not telling the truth. We can't let down not only our brothers and sisters, but our country, and elect a man like Donald Trump. I have two sons. One served 4 years in the Marine Corps. He got recalled during Iraq. And another son that I made him withdraw his enlistment with the Army because his mother did not want two boys serving in combat at the same time. I have two grandkids. I have a family, a beautiful family. My daughter-in-law is African American, and I have two beautiful grandkids. My grandson came to me on vacation, my son, while we were sitting on the porch. And he said, "Daddy, do I have to be afraid of police officers?" My son said, "Yes, but you can't look at every police officer the same." As a man who served in the Marine Corps, and my wife of 41 years who also was a Marine, I would be very reluctant to allow any of my children or my grandson to serve a commander-in-chief named Donald Trump. And I mean that with all my heart. This is the time in the moment in our history that we decide who we are as a society, who we are as a country, and whether or not our unions are going to join in unity to move this country forward, to rebuild the United States of America and take back our country from those who have captured it from the American people. Thank you.